My name is Sylvain Poosson, and I am a professor of French and Spanish. And I consider myself a political activist, something that I have been doing since I was in first year college. Yes, I am an author. I wrote about blacks in Latin America, specifically in Argentina. The book, the one I published, is called Afro-Argentines. The first title is The Forgotten History. Okay, okay. Afro-Argentines in Argentina, something like that. So it talks about how they came in from Africa, how black people came in from Africa as slaves, and you know, what happened to them after a while. Because when you go to Argentina, Argentinian people are really proud of themselves for being a very European, pro-European country in Latin America, you know, whereas when you go to Bolivia, you can see a strong presence of the indigenous Indian, for example. In Argentina, they are kind of proud that they don't have that kind of presence there. Although there are some Indians there, you know, the Ranqueles in the south or somewhere. Okay, and so we have people, so that's what it talks about. Okay, what happened to the black people in Argentina and the culture that they have left behind. Basically, I discovered through my research that, you know, yeah, the tango was not born out of nowhere. The tango dance that we have today is a contribution of the black slaves in Argentina. Well, of course, if you tell an Argentinian that tango is African, he will completely dismiss it with the hand, because, you know, something that I've realized when I was living there, that many did not know that part of history, because, you know, it's like here, when something is being created by the black man, we put them in as a hidden figure. It doesn't show up on the main discourse, okay? So until we dig deeper, so we find out that, okay, black people have done this, have done that. But since they were enslaved, or, you know, they were housemaids, they were not educated per se, the cultural thing that they have created that has made Argentina, for example, was completely dismissed. But the truth is they have brought a lot. That's why my book is about to bring out what the contribution of black people in Argentina. When I was in Spain, I met this colleague at the university who was doing research about one of the greatest writers in Spain. His name is Montalban. So I was interested in Montalban. He wrote a very interesting book, I read, El Pianista, that I loved. And I wanted to interview him. I wanted him to be, you know, to write about him. And then I left Spain, I left France, and I came here at UVA. So when I was doing my research for PhD, I wanted to work on Montalban. But doing my research, I came across the plight of black people in Latin America. So I was looking to music contribution, you know, cultural contribution of people around the world. So I came across with the black people. And what caught my attention about Argentina is that the contribution of black people were completely denied in that country. Although in other countries it was celebrated. You know, in Colombia, they do celebrate black culture. In Argentina, they do not celebrate black. So I was wondering, I said, so why not? If we know that the black people came, you know, to Argentina back in the 17th century, so why not, you know, talk about what they did? So I started digging deeper. That's what I found out, that, oh, okay, the reason why they were eliminated was just because of racism, pure and simple. And then, you know, and also the other reason is that, well, Argentina is too proud to, you know, to be European, you know. Because once upon a time in Argentina, they wanted to create a nation that is completely white. and they wanted to bring to the shore of Argentina, to the shores of Argentina, people from Northern Europe. Because they said, in history, when you read the history of Argentina, they said that people from Spain or France or that people were too southern. Okay? They could not, accept people like that, like Italian, things like that. So when they opened up Argentina for immigration back in the 1830s, 1820s, people who came to Argentina were the people they did not want. It's interesting. Because they opened embassies in Germany, for example, to bring the German there. And some German came to Argentina and they saw the weather was kind of weird. Most of them did not stay. Some did stay, of course. We know we have a great presence of German in Argentina, but most of them did not. The people who came a lot are the people that the Argentinian politician didn't want: Spaniards and Italians. Okay, so most of them are Italian. If you look at the map today, 42% of the population will be mostly Italian descent. All right, so you have a great name like Lionel Messi, who plays the soccer. If you know Messi is an Italian name. Giardinelli, who's a writer, one of the good writers there. Di Rosa, all these names you can see, these are Italian names because those are the people who came to Argentina. So I was interested in learning, okay, I got all that part, I got the European part, I got all this. Well, what about the blacks? What happened to them? So I got more interested in it. So I started traveling around the place to see what happened comparatively. To see, I went to Peru, I looked how they treat the black Peruvian. I come back to Argentina, I said, well, something's not right here. So, that's what my book, that prompted me to write this book about Argentina. It's on Amazon. You can find it. It's called La Historia Silenciada, Los Afro-Argentinos Protagonistas de un Drama Social. So it's in the Spanish version I have. Okay. All right. So there's no English version of it yet. There's a translator who's working on it from Arkansas, who's put it in English, but he hasn't done yet. I think he got a little sick lately, so he took a step back from the book. But I hope he finishes the translation soon, and then will be published in English. Yeah.